is my pleasure to introduce the host and president of On-Court Off-Court Incorporated. He is a 25-year veteran of the tennis teaching industry and is energetically dedicated to serving the needs of coaches and teaching professionals throughout the world. Please welcome Mr. Joe Dinifer.
Hi, my name is Joe Dinifer. Now, agility ladders are not new in professional sports training, but they are new to millions of children who can also use ladders as tools for fun, fitness, and skill building. The variations are practically endless. The games and exercises in this video introduce drills for both individuals and teams, for foot speed and agility, for rhythm and balance, for both cooperative teamwork and team competition, and most important, for fun. You will also notice that they are easily adapted and equally effective for children of many different ages. We have divided this video into 3 sections. Part 1 contains exercises and skill builders for individuals. Part 2 features variations of team races and relays. Part 3 features ladders and ball games. Part 1 features a series of individual exercises. Note that for safety, you should first have the children attempt the footwork pattern alongside the ladder. Once inside the ladder, they should move on the balls of their feet and not move the rungs of the ladder at all. Another point is that music with a strong tempo can make ladder drills more energizing, while the music also builds rhythm skills.
This first drill is the most basic in the series and is meant as an introduction to the children. First, have them just walk through the ladder. Then, as they get used to the movement and stride length, pick up the speed to a jog and then a sprint with quick, short steps. You may have noticed in the first exercise that some of the children were not pumping their arms when running. However, studies show that arm pumping actually speeds up stride rate, or how fast the legs pump. To a certain point, the faster the arms pump, the faster the legs pump as well. You may want to experiment with faster tempo music. Work on acceleration, have the young athletes start off slow, and then, when the whistle blows, speed up to a sprint. Advise them that they should use light touch footwork, since the fastest sprinters only touch the ground for 1/12 of a second. Then, to work on deceleration, have them start off as fast as possible, and then when they hear the whistle, slow down to a jog. Now we see the children working on dynamic flexibility with the traditional exercise commonly called butt kicks. It may seem simple, but actually is a terrific stretch for the quadriceps or thigh muscles. Like all the exercises in this section, the coach or another child can time the run and keep records so the individual child can try and improve their own speed with ongoing attempts. The opposite muscle groups to work on from the last exercise are the hamstrings. First, have the children move through the ladder one step at a time and hug each knee to their chests. Then, once they have a feel for the range of motion and can maintain good balance, have them run through quickly while lifting their knees as high as possible. This next drill works on plyometrically developing the quick, explosive movement of the calf muscles, another essential for effective running. In this exercise, you want the children to isolate and load energy into their ankles and calves with little flex in the knees. Now, to make sure that the athletes develop equally on both legs, have them execute the same exercise with only one leg hopping. But make sure to have them practice the drill equally with both their right and left legs. You can easily determine which leg needs more work by using a stopwatch to time the hopping on each leg. In most sports, coordination and agility are keys to effective movement. Consider basketball, tennis, football, and soccer. This exercise adapts the traditional game of hopscotch to our ladder work. It's another drill that is definitely enhanced by music, helping athletes with their footwork and rhythm at the same time. Try upbeat music as far as possible to go along with the exercise. In this exercise, set up 2 ladders side by side to create a large variety of footwork drills. The first is a simple run-through, like the old tire races of years past. The second is a simple hopping drill with 2 feet in each of the rungs. And a third possibility would be a bit more challenging. In this one, have the children skip through each of the rungs. This last one will test their balance, rhythm, and movement skills for sure. Another footwork variation, which is essential in a large number of sports, is sideways shuffling. Here we see the young athletes sidestepping their way to great eye-foot coordination. And, like many exercises in this video, it is important to have the children practice it leading with both feet. Some of them will be right foot dominant, and others will want to lead with their left. Balance and flexibility are important skills for everyone to develop. Once they've mastered the side shuffle from the previous exercise, challenge them even more with mirror shuffle. In this game, set up 2 ladders facing one another, and, in this case, have one athlete with the hat be the leader. The other is his or her mirror image, trying to keep in sync with each change of direction. This drill adds the dimension of interaction and always adds another element of fun to any workout or activity. Before starting this next exercise, I strongly recommend just having the children skip in place, especially if you are trying to have them match the rhythm of their skipping to music. Then, have them skip through each rung of the ladder, first at a comfortable range of motion. Then, to challenge them more, have them perform high knee skipping, a great plyometric skill builder. For high-performance youngsters, have them even try sideways skipping in various directions, again on command from a coach or group leader. This next exercise has a lot of potential variations. The basic idea is to have the young athletes move forwards through the ladder a certain number of steps and then move backwards a lesser amount. Here we are demonstrating 3 steps forwards and 1 step backwards. Does it look easy? Try it yourself to find out for sure. Now let's move to a more unpredictable exercise called speed bumps. In this drill, the children run through the ladder as quickly as possible, but have to skip the rungs where the dome cones are placed. You can also challenge them more by trying the same exercise with hopping or even skipping. And as an ultimate challenge, change the placement of the cones without them watching and have them move through the ladder, having to make quick decisions at the last second. For the last skill category of this section, we will vary the stride length with explosive action out of the ladder. They are called runouts and incorporate the fast footwork of earlier exercises with explosive long stride length at the end, with the children sprinting to a finish line. The opposite drill is called a run-in and works on deceleration. Again, like many exercises in this section, these patterns are very similar to the skills used in many popular sports like soccer, tennis, basketball, and even baseball.
Part 2 features a series of team games, races, and relays designed to be fun and skill building at the same time. Note that the various exercises should be practiced before races and relays are introduced. And remember that we are just demonstrating some of the basics. Add your imagination and creativity to these drills for an endless number of variations, suitable for practically all ages and athletic levels.
Let's start this section with a group exercise everyone knows. Simon Says. Again, like the exercises in the first section, you may want to have the children try the various movements standing outside the ladder first. Once they have the basics, moving in and out of the ladder with different skills to the game of Simon Says allows for a lot of creativity and imagination, as the possible variations are endless. They can be fun, challenging, and sometimes hilarious, all at the same time. Here's a creative exercise that adds a lot of fun to simply running through ladders. In this exercise, have two players start side by side at each end of a ladder. Then, on command from the coach or group leader, have them run through, alternating 1 foot in the ladder and 1 foot outside of it. They can perform this drill cooperatively, as we see here, namely, having them run at the same speed, or, for high-performance youngsters, competitively as a race. Another variation that is visually interesting is to have them run through at the same time, with the same technique, but from opposite ends. The first relay is an extension of the last section, but now with teams. After grouping the children, have each team line up behind a ladder. Establish a line well past the end of the ladder that they must each in turn run around. After crossing the runaround line, each child sprints back to tag a teammate who then runs the course as well. Like the last exercise, this relay solidifies the run-in skill amidst the excitement of a little friendly team competition. Group the children, establish a starting point away from the ladder, blow a whistle, and watch the fun. Yet another variation is to have the children run in and then run out to another preset turnaround line before running back through the course again to tag a teammate. Now let's move to a fast-paced and challenging variation of tag. However, keep in mind that this game should only be attempted once the children can quickly and confidently run through the ladders with balance and control. There are so many possible variations of this simple idea that it could take an additional entire video to show them. You can obviously adapt the number of children and ladders to accommodate a group of any size. You can also have the children perform a number of different footwork patterns, as we practiced in Section 1. Keep in mind that the idea is to motivate the children rather than have them catch and tag one another. So keep the time limited so no more than 20 or 30 seconds per game take place, and space the children apart at a safe distance. Now let's combine a creative variation of push-ups with agility and balance movement through a ladder. First, start the children lined up in push-up position and have them walk around a little bit just to get them used to the skill. Then, position them sideways to the ladder and have them walk their hands through the ladder rungs. After they have the basics down, create a simple relay with one child at a time, walking their hands through the ladder and then sprinting to a turnaround point before returning to tag the next child on their team. Another variation of the last exercise is to have the children walk through the ladder with their feet inside the rungs, while their hands move along outside them. And yet another option is to have them walk through the rungs with both their feet and their hands. Obviously, there are dozens of other situations that could be created. Just get started and let your imagination take over. Slightly more difficult than the push-up variations is to perform ladder games while crab walking. First, try it with the children walking their hands through the rungs and straddling the ladder with their feet. Then have them switch to walk through the rungs with their feet and straddle the ladder with their hands. Finally, the most difficult variation is to crab walk through the ladder with both their hands and their feet inside the rungs at the same time. An entirely different theme for ladder games is to create various geometric shapes using different segments of a ladder. Relay races are easy to set up with the ladder in a U shape. Another easy pattern to arrange is a V. Or how about a zigzag if you have 4 segments or even a square? Then, within each pattern, have the children run through the variations of footwork patterns like the ones we demonstrated in the first section of this tape. Again, the variations to this one idea are practically unlimited. The last drill for this section is a series of zigzags. The basic pattern is to have one child hop in and out of the ladder, skipping rungs. Then, for a little extra fun and interaction, perform the same drill with 2 children at the same time. Just have them each go in and out of alternating rungs and land on different sides of the ladder. For a team relay, simply have them perform this cooperatively and run around the ladder and back to tag the next pair on their team to perform the same drill.
Part 3 contains a series of team games featuring combinations of ladder footwork drills and ball skill builders. Again, please note that the various skills should be rehearsed alongside the ladders before organizing races and relays.
For the first exercise in this ball and ladder section, have each child in a group stand in a rung of the ladder and pass balls in various ways. The first variation can be a simple over-the-head pass. Another variation is to have the children pass the ball between their legs. Yet another variation is to have them pass the ball around their waists, alternating directions with each pass, as we now see the group demonstrating. To make this idea a continuous movement drill, just instruct the last person in each ladder to sprint to the start of the ladder and each child to move backwards one position. Now let's move to a skill builder that requires the children to toss and catch the ball with a partner while standing in a fixed and balanced position. However, don't be fooled and think that this exercise is just for children who are old enough to toss and catch a regular ball. You can easily adapt this exercise to much younger children by introducing a beach ball, which makes tossing and catching much easier. The next logical step is to start two children facing one another, each standing in their own ladders. Then, on command, have them walk through the ladder, tossing the ball back and forth at the same time. For a team competition, create a relay and just instruct the children that they have to toss and catch the ball in each individual rung of the ladder before they can proceed. If they drop a ball, have them repeat the toss and catch, standing in the same position. An extension of these last exercises also doubles as a great warm-up drill. You will need to cover a fairly large area with ladders and then have the group of children move through the ladders while tossing a ball backwards to the next child over their heads. In this manner, the ball is tossed through the entire line of children. And, like the last exercise, you can also adapt this one to smaller children by using a beach ball which floats more slowly through the air. In this next ball and ladder drill, simply position one child in the last rung on each end of a single ladder. Then give them a goal like 5 catches in a row. In fact, with many children and many ladders, you can set up stations and tasks for each station through which the children can rotate. To create a little movement and flexibility, just instruct the children that they only have to place one foot in the last rung of the ladder. A minor change that effectively allows them to adjust their body position and balance to each ball thrown. Now we see the children paired and starting in the same position as the last exercise. But for this drill, have them step forward one rung towards each other after each catch. Then, once in the middle, have them walk backwards until they reach the outer rung. If you have many pairs of children, you can also have them keep track by scoring 1 point each time they progress through each rung of the ladder. Next, let's combine a fitness drill along with ladders and balls. Set up 2 ladders parallel to one another and place one ball in the first rung of one of the ladders. Have a pair of children cooperate together to see how fast they can toss their ball back and forth while moving along the entire length of the ladder. The only rule is that they must catch and toss the ball from each rung of their respective ladders. Another variation is to perform the same exercise with 2 balls at a time. This one is certainly challenging, but is also a lot of fun and easy to make into a team relay as well. Now let's combine sidestepping and playing catch with 2 children and 2 ladders. This may look somewhat easy, but it really isn't. Only the best athletes will be able to perform this drill quickly, as it requires executing both sound footwork and good hand-eye coordination simultaneously. Once they've mastered this exercise with 1 ball, challenge them with 2. The easiest way to control 2 balls will be with a bounce pass and an air pass. However, with a little bit of practice and by varying the arcs of the passes, they should also be able to pass 2 balls in the air at the same time as well. To convert this idea into a team relay is also pretty easy. Divide a large group into teams, and each team into 2 groups, where each pair has to sidestep catch through the ladder and then return the way they came to pass the ball to the next pair on their team. This next exercise is a team competition, with each team running through half ladders to an open middle area where a teammate waits to toss each child a ball. When each one successfully moves through the ladder, reaches the middle area, and then tosses a ball back and forth with their teammate, they sprint back to tag their next teammate in line. If they miss the catch, they have to try it again, either with the full ladder run or without, depending on the instructions from the coach. Like many of the ball drills, you can make this one easier for younger children by using a beach ball. More difficult by having the children toss and catch 2 balls at once is another variation as well. If you happen to have a net on either a tennis court or volleyball court, this same exercise can also be played over that net. Then you have footwork, positioning, and ball skills all combined in the same fun exercise. Now let's extend this same concept to several other sports. Take a look at how well it can work with a basketball, having the children execute a bounce pass, or actually shooting a basketball if you're in a gym. On a tennis court, the same idea can be extended to work on footwork and racket skills. And it can also be adapted to soccer, with the children running up and executing a controlled pass with a soccer ball.
Thank you for joining us for this video introducing Kids and Ladders. It's easy to pull more than 100 exercise and game variations from this video, but on your own, it will also be easy for you to create hundreds more. Please remember to have the children first try all of the footwork drills adjacent to the ladder to get a feel for the movement before moving through the ladder itself. Also, remember that practically all of these drills and games can easily be adapted to a wide range of ages and athletic abilities. Simply adjust the pace of the drill or use a ball appropriate for the age and skill level of the children involved. Above all, have fun. When the children have fun, they will come back enthusiastically for more. Isn't that what it's all about? Big shots are just little shots who keep on shooting.